Yeah, I had some things I had ran into this morning, and as I was running into those things, I said I'm going to make sure I pull this up on the phone because I'm getting to you all. And as soon as it started, it was over. There was a montage of images, and they all look the same pretty much throughout their historic time of putting out cars. They showed that it was all red and it had HP and it was. I'm gonna tell you right now that that probably was the wackest. That probably was the wackest livery drop we've seen just yet. And what did I tell y'all? I said the SF-26. I said if Ferrari comes out with the designation while Fred Vasseur was trying to act like it was top secret of SF-26, you all might want to be a little concerned about the season this year. You might want to be a little concerned. You just might want to be a little concerned. My apologies. I'm literally kind of flabbergasted by what we just saw. I'm literally kind of flabbergasted by what we just saw. I'm not lying to you. That was yo, I'm Julius, I appreciate it. I told you all. I told y'all. I said if Ferrari comes out with the SF-26 while they were trying to act like it was just all top secret about what they were going to do, that y'all need to be concerned about the season. You need to be a little bit concerned about how much Ferrari's going to change and have you feeling as if it's about to be something magnificent in 2026. I'm just keeping it a buck. Big shout out to Julius for the super chat. I'm just keeping it a buck because I mean, did y'all see that? I mean, I was literally, I had to take care of some things, unfortunately, this morning that didn't align with the time we were supposed to start. But as soon I was watching from the phone as I was going through what I had to go through, and as soon as it started, it was over. It was not exciting. It was an indictment, and yeah, that was sad. That was sad. But maybe, okay, just maybe, I'm just leaving some room open for what could be. Maybe Ferrari has a mindset now that we're not going to spend all of our time trying to be completely wowing on the livery launch and the drop and said things. Maybe they are saying, hey, we're going to spend less on that, and we're going to spend a good amount of time actually performing on track. Maybe that's what they said. Maybe that's the route they're going. And if that's the route they're going, I'm not mad about it. But yeah, Sylvia Wood Kelly, if you blink, you missed it. And you did. And that was exactly what happened. Literally. You know, literally. I was taking my medication. I said, none of this shit never really starts on time. Taking my medication, had it on the phone, had to make sure I let things settle. As things settled, they came on a 58, I think it was a 58 clock came on for a minute, basically. And the moment it went out, I thought what we were watching was the introduction to what was going to lead to a crowd clapping and perhaps a host and perhaps team principal Fred Vasseur and a little bit of talk and then lead into the drivers and actually show what was going on. It was the SF-26. And that's not what happened. Usually we see a shakedown. So maybe later today, they will release videos of a shakedown because I did see, hey, big shout out to Paul. I did see that they had on their Instagram page, actually, maybe they're doing it there this year instead. On their Instagram page, they did have, things going to change at Florinero, and they had the whole garage. As something inside of the garage was literally breathing through the red flashing lights. And no, not even there. They're not even live on their Instagram. There are some nice photos. I mean, this is you really didn't miss much. You didn't really miss much at all. I mean, other than we're gonna bring up some pictures right now. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up some pictures of the car. I'm gonna bring up one picture of the car. It's not even worth bringing up several pictures of this car. I'm keeping it a buck. It's really not. I'm gonna bring up one picture of this car, and we're gonna do it real quick just so you can peep it out. But it's not worth it. It's not worth a bunch of other stuff. I'm just I'm Ferrari. I hope this is not it. I hope this is not it. But if it is it, I am completely open to. If this is it, I'm completely open to the point that I don't even know what to say, y'all, for real. I just don't know what to say. Ferrari, I would hope that this is not it, but it could be it. And a lot of people are just going to be a little bit disappointed about what Ferrari has done here because there are several teams that have done this before and people are disappointed. And they're disappointed because, and I'm going to tell you why. Had Ferrari come out, right? Let's just say Ferrari came out and they said, "Hey, we're just going to have a simple livery launch drop, and we're not going to do anything too crazy. Going to release some images of the new car, and that's where we're going to go from there. And then from there, you all will be there for testing, be there for several other things that we may possibly do, and that would have been cool. But that's not what they did. All right. So this is the new Ferrari. This is the new Ferrari. They use Lewis Hamilton's number, of course. What else are they going to do? This is nothing but to me, in my opinion, I don't even think this is a real car. I think this is literally a rendering. If this is the real car, kudos to them. But with AI being so crazy these days, I'm not even sure this is a real, actual car. I really think this might just be a rendering. Paul says, good, getting ready for, snow again, a 40-hour snow event coming in this weekend. Major ice expected, half the country affected. Stay safe. Actually, that is more important than Ferrari. So I'm going to say this, good people. I would suggest that if you don't have a battery bank, get one that can support charging your phone for the next few days without you being on it on social media. Just have your phone ready for real communication between family and friends. Try to go to Best Buy, Target, any electronic store should have a good battery bank. If you are in an area that is expecting, like Paul, probably in his area, they may be expecting anywhere from 10 to 24 inches of snow, depending on where you are in the area of the United States. I would suggest if you don't have a generator, at least big enough to run your refrigerator, get one. But guess what? Don't panic. If you don't have a generator big enough to run your refrigerator or lights, it's going to be cold as quakies outside. Just get a plastic bin and put it in the garage or put them outside on a deck and cover them up. The outside is your refrigerator. We human beings have been using the elements of outside and the cold earth to refrigerate food before Frigidaire or any of these other companies came by. Samsung, all right? So just do that. But get you some firewood and definitely get you some water. The body cannot survive without water as long as it can survive without food. So just get some of those things. And you don't need to go crazy. The toilet paper situation, we've been there before. We talked about getting a gobs amounts of toilet paper. I don't know if you have a condition you need a lot of toilet paper, but if you don't, just get regular toilet paper. Don't get too crazy. But Paul is exactly right. Definitely get prepared. I don't think, I wasn't prepared for the Ferrari drop this morning. I was unprepared. But unscheduled things happen, and I'm not even mad that what I saw is what I saw. So if I'm going to look for some other images that might be online right now in regards to the Ferrari, and maybe even if they have some type of additional press release in regard to the Ferrari. But as far as on their social media page right now, all I see is the drop of the cars, and it's the same type of livery. There's nothing important about it. It is the SF-26 takes the stage, and of course they dropped the little hype video 15 minutes ago. And this is what I was talking about when I saw this. When I saw that, I said to myself that there's gonna be something major happening. When I saw that, I said there should be, but it's not. So I do think honestly later on today, possibly there may be another release, and that may be the shakedown of them actually driving the vehicle. Maybe they're not gonna do a long drawn out. I'm already getting messages. This is how early my day starts. My day literally starts this early with messages, with requests for parts and all types of shit. Literally this early, and I usually don't answer them until 0700 or so. But I literally, okay, I already got a request for a part. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So the phone might start going off. So don't worry about that. But there might be something later on today where they'll drive the car. Hey, Rambro88, what's up, brother? I see you in the chat. Paul, Sylvia Witt Kelly, Racer X210. Yo, Racer X210, what's up with the Ferrari team, bro? They really out here. They really out here gaslighting. Julius, Darth, something just came through on Formula One. So I'm going to go ahead and tap into that real quick. And it just talks about the revealing of the SF-26. So let's go ahead and bring that up on screen real quick as far as what is being reported on the Formula One channel. We'll go ahead and do that. And we can see what maybe they sent in as a report to be read about the SF-26. So I'm going to bring that up real quick, and we can check that out. So just give me a second to bring that into view for you all. And we'll see if there's any great things there, because this right here to me was all cap. All pretty much cap. But yeah, let's see. Yep, there we go. Got it. All right, here we go, good people. My good people, this is what we got. So this is what they're talking about in regards to the SF-26, where Fred Vasseur acted as if it was going to be called something else, as if I would actually believe that. I completely didn't believe that. I figured it was going to be something lame duck out here. All right, so this is what we got. Let me bring us into view. All right, so of course, bam, there's the SF-26. Whoop-de-doo. Little bit. I know some of you are largely disappointed in that. I'm not as disappointed because I kind of felt I am disappointed in the format of what they did, but I'm definitely not disappointed in regard to the livery, because they're afraid to really change much. This is what I was giving Mercedes credit for, what they did on their livery versus what Ferrari and other teams have done with their liveries, which is not much as shit. I do notice these levels up on the rear gurney going these step downs. I noticed that, but I will say this. We saw aggressive designs or renderings such as this, because I'm not even sure this, like I said, this is the real car. This is Charles Leclerc on the front. They got Lewis Hamilton on the rear of the car. Notice that. But I'm not even sure this is actually going to be on the real car. This might be something just for flair and whatever it's going to be. But if we come down, here we go. Built to all new regulations, the SF-26 will be driven by continuing teammates Charles and Lewis, and Fred remains in the team principal. Ferrari are no doubt hoping the car can end a championship drought. That is real. They are hoping that. Stretches back almost 2 decades to 2008, when they won the team's title, with 2007 marking their last drivers' championship with Kimi Räikkönen. Ouch. Those are stats that you don't want to see. You know, those are stats that you those are some stats that you would prefer not be in, you know, not be in the write-up, but those are real stats. And those are things that we also have talked about. We've talked about Ferrari not winning in a long time. We have discussed that Ferrari hasn't won in a long time, and that is what we're waiting to see if there's something they're going to change. So that is what it is. And that's what's going to be reported. And they're going to be under the microscope this season. So after that, come down. Following Friday's launch, which was held at their headquarters in Maranello, Italy, Ferrari will head to Spain for next week's basically Barcelona Shakedown. So that's where the Shakedown really is going to be. This is it. We're not going to see anything else. That's all. More to follow. I don't think we're going to see anything else. But if we do see something else, that would be good. Maybe they actually will put the car out on track. And once out on track later today is when we'll get what Ferrari actually, I don't want to say they started. I'll say they brought it into the new era of Formula One, is when they actually drove their car on track while everybody else was just doing livery launches in some auditorium or stadium or somewhere at the facility headquarters and had the car there. Ferrari actually kind of brought us back into where it was, let's let the people see the car actually function out on track. Although they could have did a better job doing it, I gave them extreme credit for. And then the next season, they kind of dropped the ball a bit more, where it was just too long in the tooth and a bunch of unneeded stuff. But it was really cool that they did it in front of their fans on their track. So their fans were included in real wholeheartedly local fans, because they got wholeheartedly fans throughout the world. So, but that was cool. But this right here was buster. This was a bust, in my opinion, an extreme bust. So big shout out Mary in the super chat. Big shout out to Mary. Who else we got in the super chat? Incredible Facts question. The super chat says that Denny have video clips on her X page. All right, Denny has video clips on her X page. Roger that. Another Ferrari mad moment. Sylvia Witt Kelly says that is the truth. And a big shout out to Denny. You know, she's been here before. F.I. Gurley has been here before. She's doing her thing. She's, new things in life. So big shout out to Denny with new things in life. But I guess we could check out Denny to see if what she's got on there, if she's got some clips, be able to look her up real quick. Let me check this out. If X allows it, sometime X wants you to be logged in and all that other stuff. So Denny does, I don't know why. I mean, Denny doesn't have anything really on there besides for Hamilton and Ferrari, and she's got Hamilton with his dog and stuff like that. But, big shout out to Denny. But, yeah, there's nothing really major out here. Rambro88 says, I can live with the ugly car if it performs well. That's a good point. That's a good point. I was kind of making that point that if this is what they're going to do, maybe they're going to focus more on actually racing this season. Maybe they're not going to concern themselves with all the hype up, because I'm going to keep it real. When you have a hype video and you have a hype livery launch, people are going to be expecting that hype to be followed up, right? You're going to have natural expectations that are going to be set in place when you do that. And so if Ferrari's not going that route and they're trying to go a route of, listen, we're going to bring it on track. When you see us at Barcelona, you're going to see what we really need to be hyped about. And that's that we're going to be a fierce competitor for Drivers' Championship and Constructors' Championship. And if that's the route they're going to go, cool. But if not, we're looking at another box popcorn trophy coming up this season. Okay? If Ferrari are going to do a lame duck livery launch, if they're going to be doing another lame duck livery, and they say skip all the frills and thrills before the season is really for real, and then the season starts and we see a Ferrari car that was actually made horribly after already making a 90% horrible 2025 car, we see another Ferrari campaign that looks lame duck. We see more Ferrari strategies that are confusing. We see race engineers that can't give you good information. And we have two drivers coming out with smoked rumors about we're looking for other destinations. Then Ferrari is going to be in a situation with everybody that watches Formula One of you fucking suck. That's where they're going to be. Another F word that's not Ferrari that will go along with Ferrari's name. I mean, we got so many other F words with Ferrari. But if they come out and they smoking hot and they're competing, nobody's going to think about this livery launch. Nobody's going to complain. Very few people will complain about their actual livery. They're going to be wild that at least Ferrari, after damn near 20 years of failing, is starting to be successful. So I agree. Racer X2 Cents says, don't care that much for the livery. Why should you? It's pretty much the same livery. They don't change at all, brother. I care more on performance and aerodynamics. Ferrari needs to show they can compete. I completely agree. That's exactly what was my point when I just said what I said. I agree with you, bro. They need to be able to compete. That's where we want to see it. Julius, big shout out to you, brother. Always here. Rambro, it's nice to see you again, brother, too. We haven't seen Rambro in a minute. Rambro said, I've been taking a break. Big shout out to Sylvia Wick Kelly, Mary Beanie, and Galactus, and Racer X210, Mods. And big shout out to Maria Duncan. She's taking a break right now. She's not really trying to be involved in all of this, but she'll be back. But yeah, I agree. It is what it is. And I don't know if they're going to come out with some nice little report, but let's also not forget Ferrari is right now still on a downward trend. Ferrari's still right now on a downward trend. They made a mistake in 2025, changing 90% of the car. That was a mistake they made. Alpine is later today at 6:30 a.m., and I'm not even sure I'm going to concern myself with Alpine to that degree, but maybe we do Alpine, maybe not. But I'm not sure I'm going to worry about Alpine. Alpine might be more interesting and more involved than Ferrari's was, but it's probably also going to be a bunch of hype. But we might do Alpine in about an hour's time. I might come back in 30 minutes and do the Alpine live lunch. We'll see. Julia says, why did they have people live this morning at the track? And that's what I'm saying, Julius. I think that it might be valid. That I'm saying I think. I'm not saying I know. I'm saying it might be valid that indeed Ferrari is going to do a shakedown at the track, but they're not going to do it live. And then what they may do is release it on one of their pages for us all to watch later. Hopefully they release it on YouTube for us to watch later. I think that they will probably do something like that. But if not, then it just is what it is. But I don't know why they had people at the track. They had the Instagram video dropping as if they were going to be live at the track. And then we saw what we saw. So I don't know really what's going on with that, bro. I wish I could tell you a real definitive answer, but I can't. I can't understand what Ferrari's doing right now, but we'll see. So with that being said, that is it. We do hope that they are going to perform better this season, but we don't know. And if we go based off what we saw last season, I can tell you that I doubt it. So with that being said, we're going to be out. We're going to check out. I might go ahead and set up a live to check out Alpine, just since I'm already up and kind of in the Formula One livery launch mode right now. I might just say, hey, let's go ahead and check out some of this Alpine livery launch or see what they're going to be saying, because there are some interesting things about Alpine, right? Alpine's going Mercedes. Alpine decided to keep Franco. Alpine still has Brigatore. What's that going to be like this season? Sylvia Wick Kelly says, yep, just watched the car on track and had to push it back into well, there you go. Where they just did the montage of generational Formula One cars and left it there. Sylvia Wick Kelly just says, watch the car on track and had to push it back into pit lane. Great where to start. Failure. That is awesome. Yeah, not great. So that definitely didn't go over well. Guess that's what it is. I wonder if they you know what, sometimes they probably shouldn't give exclusive viewing rights to certain people if that's also what they're going to do. If they feel as if, hey, we're only going to do it here, we're not going to show the whole track thing. You're going to have to go to, Sky Sports or something to watch that. Maybe that's what they're going to do, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is turning out bad right now for Ferrari. Just keeping it a buck. This is turning out bad. So this is what they do have. Okay, so we got this right here. And of course, we don't want to be too infringy, but let's just bring something into view right now. It's 15 seconds of a damn Sprite commercial video, so don't know what that's going to be, but I'm gonna bring this into view real quick so we can check this out. Open this. All right, and I'm gonna check it out. We'll bring it in shot by shot, because actually there are evidently some clips out here of the Ferrari on track. Ted's on camera with Sky Sports, and evidently it's not very good what's going on right now. It's actually not what you want to see, what you'd hope to see for this situation right now. But I'm gonna bring these clips out real quick. See if we can bring that into view. Sky Sports has a lot of bullshit. I tell you that. A lot of bullshit over here on this channel. It looks like for at least Lewis Hamilton was piloting the car. Saw his yellow helmet in there, so Lewis Hamilton was up for grabs on that. And then that was the end of it. There's really nothing even to show here. Honestly, there's nothing even really to show here. Just Lewis Hamilton, and I'll bring this into view, but there's nothing really legit to even go into here. It's kind of corny in its own right. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm trying to figure out why I have to even look at this shit. This is crazy. Like, this is why I don't like these channels. This is why I don't like these web pages, because they got so much spam on them. It's not even funny. It's like so much spam here. It's kind of crazy. That's why I don't even really F with Sky Sports. I think this is why y'all don't F with Sky Sports either. I'm pretty sure y'all don't F with Sky Sports as much either. But anyway, the car's out on track. It was out on track. They tried to push it out on track, and then it just didn't go well. And like Sylvia Week said, they had to push it back into the garage. I think they should have this is probably why also they didn't do it live. This also might be why they didn't do it live, because that would have been very horrible to see. So evidently Sky Sports was able to be in attendance for what they were trying to do, and actually ended up being nothing that was done. So that is what it is. We'll just leave that there and go from here. I think this altogether, I'm considering this a failure. Altogether right now, this is not good, especially news coming out after you did the little short form livery drop, and now people like Sylvia Witt Kelly, who are very tuned in to Formula One, report back and say that the car had to be pushed back into the garage. Yeah, there ain't nothing good about that. I could tell you that crap. And Sky Sports, Ted being out there, you know they're gonna come out with reports, especially Ted's. But you know Ted probably keep it a buck. Ted probably gonna keep it a buck about what happened out there, because from what I see, it wasn't nothing great. Nothing great at all. Hold on, people. Let me see if I can get rid of this shit, because I'm telling you right now, I hate all these damn ads, and they just got like a big ad banner across the top. It's ridiculous. So it says Ferrari are seeking to bounce back. That's what we already heard. SF-26. That's what we already heard. Introduction of the new chassis power unit regulations. Make a return to the front grid. Whip the damn do. We got a bunch more different videos. I mean snippets of the actual car, which I'll show you that. Excuse evidently the spam nature of Sky Sports. They choose to be real spammy, evidently. So I'm going to try to clip some of the spam out, because nobody wants to see about belly fat in here. So let me go ahead and just kind of clip that out and make this bigger. All right. Sometimes things just. All right, here we go. Here we go, peeps. All right, here we go. So a few more pictures of our images of the car right here. Of course, this one. Here we go right here, which is oddly funny. Leclerc is 16 on the front of the car while Lewis Hamilton's 44 on the side. So maybe Leclerc still leading Ferrari into the new age of, Formula One. Here we go, side shot, barge boards. I really do think these are renders. I don't think this is the real car. This looks fake. It does actually look fake. These barge boards don't look like this is real. Here we go right here, 16 and 44, two different variations. We got a super chat from Sylvia Witt Kelly says, oh, I got an update. They tested the brakes and pushed it back in on purpose. Okay, so they tested the brake. Now, remember, brakes last season were a hot topic. Remember that. That was a hot topic because Lewis Hamilton does not do well with those brakes, and they're still using Brembo. I told you all that wasn't going to change. They're still going to be there with Brembo. That's a long-standing relationship, and it goes deeper than just the racing in Formula One. So keep that in mind. If Lewis Hamilton struggles with the Brembo and they don't do something about it moving forward, I think they're going to say, hey, we don't know how long Lewis is going to be in the sport. Is it worth ruining a relationship that we've had for so long? I told you all I didn't think they would do it, and I still don't think they're going to do it. So they're going to have to find a way to cooperate with these brakes and these brakes to be harmonious with Lewis Hamilton. So right here, 7-time world champion Hamilton went a whole season without a Grand Prix podium. Wow, damn, they didn't even mention, Grand Prix podium is true. He did get something in the sprint, but I guess for the first time in his F1 career following his blockbuster switch from Mercedes, his teammate Charles Leclerc fared better as he claimed 7 podiums, but the Monegasque was unable to add to his 8 career victories in a season that left both drivers extremely frustrated, and that is true. So, however they want to put that, that is true. Seemed as if Leclerc did better, but we also know there was a lot of things mixed in there that contributed to Ferrari's failure, and a lot of those things are Ferrari failed. Ferrari is Ferrari, so, I guess. Alpine's up in 30 minutes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the Alpine. I might go ahead and come back on for Alpine. Maybe we see somebody who's going to do it. Alpine's one of the teams that does do a livery launch, and they do it extremely lengthy. So we'll see what they're going to do. But as far as this, I'm done. Ferrari, I hope they do well. Ferrari fans, God bless you. We're out of here. See you on the next one. And don't panic. Everybody stay safe. The weather's going to get bad. Hopefully it doesn't get as bad in your area. I'm out.